Welcome to Guffanti, Brunettes.
Thank you.
Okay, and you, Sam. Welcome to Guffanti, Brunettes. My name is Emily.
Oh, it was to everybody when you said that.
That's all right. What's your name?
I'm Sam.
Sam, and we've got Pete on sound, the goat. And this is the first episode we are recording not on the blue couch in my apartment.
I know.
And you said it feels like an interview. It kind of does feel like an interview, and I think it's because of that.
Yeah, it's definitely...
Like, I feel like we're sitting at a table, and I'm like, I'm in a chair.
We are sitting at a table, and we are in chairs for sure.
Right, on a couch, it's like we're on the same team, and now it's kind of like, well,
yeah, well, I mean,
are we?
Yeah, I'll answer any question. I'm happy, however you want to do it. I mean,
are you excited? This is the second episode without Sophia.
I know.
Sophia's on Guffanti hiatus.
Yeah, it's important.
It is important. It's important to reset, recharge.
I am just coming off of my Guffanti hiatus.
What does that mean? Oh, but that's also assuming I'm going to invite you back.
Well, maybe I'm just going back on Guffanti hiatus immediately after.
Right, of course. Hiatuses can last.
I take very, very, very long hiatuses.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
It's important.
You were, for people who are listening and have no idea who Sam is, it took me I think for Liz's episode, it was halfway through the episode when I finally introduced her.
Yeah.
Because we had such good flowing conversation. And I'm immediately introducing you.
That's a good sign.
It's a great sign. Sam is a dear friend of mine who was just in my music video.
That's right.
That I put out. You play my boyfriend.
That's true.
In my music video.
We had electric chemistry.
Yeah, I believe the words you used were, "This is so funny because we would never date each other in real life."
It's true.
If you were single, like just never in a million years.
Yeah, it's something with the pheromones.
Was just off.
No.
Were you nervous to play my boyfriend since your best friend is my actual boyfriend?
You know what's funny is I wasn't nervous until in the moment. Like, leading up to it, I was like, oh, this is going to be kind of funny. Like, it'll be fun. And then it was like, all right, so like get in bed with Emily.
Yeah.
Then I was like, oh, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because I've done a great job of just, compartmentalizing things in a respectful way. You got to be respectful and compartmentalizing I know,
what
I'm
things?
like walking down a interesting path already. No, I just meant I had never even that context had never even crossed my mind, and it was just to be there. It was like so strange because John's my best pal, and
I know. I think I felt the same way about it because I was like, Sam is this part like this. I was just thinking about you as the part, but not you as the part in relation to me.
Right.
And then when we were doing it, I was like, it was fun and easy. And then we were in bed.
Right.
Well, I was like, oh my God, I'm genuinely so nervous.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain roles that people are just born to play, right? And I feel like was me, I was born, and then on like another point of the timeline, there was this role, and they were just
waiting to clash.
Moving ever so slowly, closer and closer to each other.
Yeah.
Until finally it was, I'm Emily's boyfriend in the fart video.
Well, not boyfriend. We went on a date. We met that night.
Right.
Didn't work out because what's the takeaway? I sharted in your mouth?
I think, yeah. My
he throws up at the end.
My read was, you had an incident in the bed, and it made me throw up.
What was like at what point in the shoot were you the most nervous?
I think when you asked me to lick your face.
I did ask Sam.
It did not make the cut, unfortunately.
It didn't make the cut.
That's on the premium. You have to subscribe to the Patreon.
Yeah, you have to subscribe to get that. You have to pay extra. We did options where we were like super gaggy with it, but then as you said, and like I wound up editing it super straight until the joke. But I told Sam, I was like, when I say, because the lyric is the next morning, he woke me up with a kiss, but then he started doing dirty things to me with his lips.
Right.
And I was not going to have Sam doing actual dirty things to me with his lips. So I was like, just lick my face.
Which is, of course, immaculately clean.
So clean. I preferred that to like making out with you.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I was like, just like super dramatically lick the side of my face.
I think it took me a couple tries to get to anywhere where it was like even close to what we would want, and then as soon as we got there, it was sort of like, yeah.
Well, when you did it in the take, I went ooh, and then after it was over, Sam was like, "Was that a real ooh?" And I was like, "I think it was," because I was genuinely reacting. I was most nervous during that because Sam like fake ate me out in that. And I was like, I get hot very easily. And I'm pretty much my zero of temperature is sweating. Like I'm almost always a little sweaty. And it's like a great day when I'm not. And we were in Sam's room with a cameraman and me and Sam,
hot lights.
And I'm under Sam's comforter in his like flannel pajama pants and like a sweatshirt. And he has to go under and pretend he's eating me out. And to make it look real, he had to bring his head pretty close to my crotch and like bob it up and down. And I was just like, if there is an odor, he will never tell me, and I will never know.
I didn't take a single breath down there.
Just literally held your breath all the time. Well, that's the thing. I'm a clean woman,
right?
But the idea that you were sharing the same breath that my vagina was breathing.
They do breathe, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
They have
or
gills.
Is it like plants where it's like they breathe in CO2, breathe out oxygen?
Yeah, and yeah, I
didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's our second hole of
yeah, absolutely. No, I didn't know that. That means like in theory you could survive
underwater.
Yeah, exactly. That was exactly what I was going to. You could survive underwater. Just had a tube.
They call it the G spot because it's gills.
The gills spot.
Yeah, if you play with the gills enough, then a girl squirts because all that water she's been holding
in her gills
shoots out. Yeah.
I know. I wonder how a woman would respond. To be like, let me see your gills.
Yeah, and you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Pull down your pants.
I guess in a way they could kind of look like a gill.
I was just gonna say,
singular
like,
gill.
I mean, a vagina does look like a fish a little bit with like wings,
right,
or like fins.
I was imagining it like a gill, but I don't know if a gill is.
It's like a slit.
Is
right?
it the space? Is the gill the space in between? Or do you understand what I'm saying? We don't need to go into this.
Oh,
but
in between the
is
outer
it one
lips?
gill? Right. Like if it's like there's.
No, I would say
how many gills does this thing have? Is that how many holes it has? Or is that how many flat? Like how many?
No, I would say how many. You have two gills, one between each of the inner and the outer lips.
Gotcha.
So like the gills breathe as the hole opens and closes. It's so that when it's getting stuffed with a big fat cock, it can still breathe.
It can still breathe.
Yeah.
Right. One to have and one to breathe with.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever done a bit like that on this podcast before. And I think the listeners are going to be like, huh?
Really thrown off by this. Yeah. I'm just bringing that psycho energy early on.
I think it's great. I think it's new energy and it's wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like I've always had this thing with you and I wanted to bring this up because I don't know how to verbalize it properly, and I really hope I don't sound stupid. But you have always been someone, because you, again, just like Liz and Pete, I met you through John. True. We actually met a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Right before John and I broke up.
Right, round one.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the corner over there, massaging my fighter, making sure, hey, get out there, kid, get out there. Get him next time. Now we're at next time. Yeah. I remember I met you right before we broke up. So you and William Kenton and Cullen were painted as like evil in my head. Oh, no. Because you thought we were over there being like...
You're correlated with the breakup. But then, I rekindled and now I realize you guys are fam.
Yeah.
So, but I have said this to John. I think I've said it to you before. I don't know if it's the Jewish thing or what it is. But you have this thing where I really feel like I've known you my whole life. In a way where it's like, genuinely, do I? Did we meet when we were kids?
At some summer camp or something?
Because, and I've told you kind of look like this kid from my high school. Right. I've told you that before. Right. And a lot of people tell you that.
I get you remind me of this kid from my high school all the time.
Well, because you have this like spunky energy.
Like, there was this like short, like... guy.
Class clown.
Yeah, he was just like goofy, and you would love my friend Jake.
Yeah,
everybody's you don't
it's
know
always
my friend.
Jake
it's
or like
always
Evan.
Jake. Yeah, Tucker.
Tucker.
Who's Tucker?
Mine was his name.
Yeah. I mean, he sounds like a nice. I feel like I'd really get along with him, but no.
Yeah.
So I don't remind. I guess
I might bleep out his name because I want to tell you a story about him. I'm gonna bleep out his name.
Okay. Well, we already said.
Well, actually, there's two from my grade, but it'll be glaringly obvious when I tell this story. There's actually two. I have a story for each because I sucked both of their dicks, And
Nice.
I was going to tell you the story about the one that you remind me of,
Okay.
which is unfortunate. I'm definitely bleeping their names out now. He was the one time where I genuinely, like, it was so spontaneous and random. And is this weird that I'm sharing dick sucking stories with my boyfriend's friends?
I don't know. I think that wouldn't be the weird part.
The part is that I'm about to tell you about
The part would
someone
just
who...
be, if there's anything weird about it, it would be that you're sharing it on this platform. I don't think there's anything weird about that.
Oh, I don't care about the platform.
Yeah, so then there's nothing weird about it at all.
No. The thing is, I'm just so present with you right now.
2019, we're all just,
Right.
everyone's friends. Sex positive, exactly.
Well, so
Thanks,
me
Pete.
and Mr. Not Anonymous, like spontaneously started hooking up drunk this one night, and he went to put his dick in my mouth, and it was like a pinky finger. Like, I'm not kidding you.
No.
I think it was an actual micro.
And this is the one that I remind you of.
Yeah.
Okay. Just confirm.
I regretted it as soon as I said
That's
it.
all right. I mean,
No, like, but Mike, I know you don't have a micro penis.
I don't.
Is this when you're going to tell me you have a micro penis?
No. I mean, if I did, this is not, I wouldn't be like, just, okay, now that we're in, like, now it's just the two of us, let me share this with you. I mean, this is not the good context.
It's not the time
if
or
I did.
place.
But I don't.
But he doesn't. And I'm being serious, micro penis.
Oh, poor thing.
And it was 1, 2 burst of cum in my mouth. Oh. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
It was actually, I was like, what? Like, did I miss something? It was literally, I went 1, 2, and he came in my mouth.
Yeah. Cheat code.
I guess that's all you need for a little, what is cheat code?
Your mouth had the cheat code.
Oh, I had the cheat code.
Yeah.
Without knowing.
He didn't know you had the cheat code.
Well,
he didn't. He was like, damn it, she has the cheat code.
And it was 2 pumps.
Yeah.
Not 1 pump. It was the
pump.
in, the out, the in.
That's a pump. It's like the gill thing.
And it was just waterworks. And then I was so confused that I was like, am I belligerently drunk right now?
Yeah.
Did I miss
you're like, was I here for a day or 30 seconds?
And also, how is it so small? Like, I'm sucking on a finger.
Yeah.
And
you're in an alternate universe.
Yeah. And then I conversed with a friend who had also, and she was like, no, I feel so bad. It's that's
so
what it is. So
she had also entered the alternate universe.
Yeah.
Or I guess
where time and size doesn't exist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then the other guy with his same name, like, was
also. I guess you're gonna have to also. It's gonna be like also bleep bleep.
Yeah. Me and my friends nicknamed him Gertha because it was
opposite.
Yeah. So the name, you never know what you're getting with that name.
What's in a name?
What's in a name?
I wonder if.
What? Now we know what it is. Beep, beep. There are people from my high school who listen to this, so I quite literally have to bleep it out because both of them are the type of people whose like moms would come sue me.
Yeah,
for their sons, you know, because they want to fuck their sons.
My son has a micro penis, and you shouldn't be. Yeah,
and you blasted him. But anyway, you remind me of.
yeah. Thank you. No, thank you.
No, but you do. I was saying you have this quality where
feel like you know me,
and I always wonder what. Because everybody, I think, I'm sure has that. I have that with John. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously.
Like timeless lovers. Like you've fallen in love over and over again in different lifetimes. That kind of thing.
Yeah. No, not even that. Like with his brother Will, I have it too. There's like certain people. I'm trying to think of who else I have it with.
Kindred spirits, almost.
Kindred spirits, and I'm like, I've met you before, and like we're either in another lifetime, and I don't know what is. Like comprising that effect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I think it's just great friends. But there's something so interesting is because
you feel the same way about me.
Of course.
Okay.
But I will say that I do feel the same way about you, but I will say that like I don't think I necessarily like understood you right away in the sense that maybe you did understand me right away, but I feel like there's always like the pleasant surprises that you get with friends.
What did you think of me when you first met me?
Honestly, it was a very long time ago, so it's hard for me to remember. I think you always come off as like very just like funny and confident and
that's sweet.
And outgoing and like, but I think your sort of, dare I say, Taurusness, because you are a Taurus, aren't you?
I'm a Taurus, thank you.
I think those were the things that were almost like surprising to me. Like when you would take a stand on things, it's just
really?
Not that I didn't expect you to, but it was always just like, oh, so that's Emily, and that's like
I'm opinionated.
No, well, yeah, but also just firm in your beliefs, and I hadn't. That isn't the type of thing that I felt like I had known
about me
in a past life, almost as we were
well,
saying.
I guess so. I'm always curious to think what people think of me in like as a first. What was your first impression of me, Pete? Now that I'm making this about me, do you have one? Oh my God, he doesn't remember.
I was intimidated by you for sure.
You were intimidated by me?
Yes.
You're famous.
But not by any means famous.
I just heard about you a lot, but like in just very like vague like John being like, I miss Emily so much.
Oh, that's the best.
You know what's so funny though?
All of you said that to me when we got back together. You were all like, you would not believe how much he talked about you.
I don't think he even told us when you guys were breaking up the first time. I don't think he even mentioned that.
That's the thing about him is that
because it's funny hearing you say the thing about the corn, like, oh, you guys. I think it was like maybe a week later he was like, dude, I broke up with Emily, man.
Yeah.
Like I think it was like I think it happened.
Yeah.
I don't think we were ever like, oh, you should or anything like that.
And I know you weren't, but right. I think I had a bit. I walked back into my friendship with you guys with a chip because I was like, you guys are related to that.
Yeah, yeah.
But then instantly realized that's not true at all. And I was gonna say, I feel like, and this actually is a Taurus quality. Tauruses like do display as like I guess intimidating or aggressive or like they come on really strong, but like really we are so soft and like loyal and teddy bears. Like that's.
I can feel that. Every Taurus I know is like that.
Well, that's why I'm always so shocked when people tell me that they're intimidated because I'm like. Do you think I'm anything more than like a fat loser? Truly. Like I'm really, it's so mismatched in my head to how I feel I'm coming off.
I feel like you got to be psycho to not think of yourself as kind of a loser though. I don't know. I feel like there's like nobody that I'm like friends with that isn't like somewhat deeply insecure. I don't know.
Well, that's because everybody does comedy.
I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess I hang out. I
guess. There are a lot of people I know that are like genuinely confident in who they are.
yeah. I don't know about that.
Lunatics.
I don't know about that. I mean, I definitely like. I don't know. I feel like I come off as confident, and I think I like to utilize that like as a skill set.
You do come off as confident,
but I definitely like. I don't know. I feel like anybody who knows me knows I like overthink things and.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like my first impression of you was that you're like, I got super masculine energy and very confident and funny.
Thank you.
And then what I learned about you over time was that you are, which is a great thing, is like you treat friends as family, which is awesome quality. I mean, everybody I think in this friend group does. And that you're super anxious and neurotic.
Yeah, it's true. No, it's true. Yeah,
and that's the Jew in you.
Well, I was gonna say it brings me because it is Sag season officially, Sagittarius season.
Oh my God, and you're a Sag.
And I am a Sag. Thank you.
Do you know your rising?
I don't remember. My mom, I'm on like one of those, I like text my mom every few months, like, oh, tell me when I was born and where and all that.
Always forget.
I gotta go look it up and then
you
I always forget.
You don't remember what time you were born?
No, I know. My mom went into labor with me at 4:44. And that's like the time we see all the time, like on the clock, like you see it, and it's like the special thing.
But that's not when you were born.
But I don't remember when it was like 2 a.m. or something. I don't know.
She went into labor 4:44 p.m.
Or no. It was 4:44 a.m. and it was 2 in the afternoon or something. I don't know. Maybe the opposite. I really don't remember. I was very, very young at the time. But anyway, I was gonna say I think that like I like to think so. Me and my dad have the same birthday. I don't know if you. I
you
think
do?
Know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my dad and I have the same birthday, and then
that sucks for you growing up.
No, it sucked for him growing up.
Why?
Because he didn't get a birthday. I was like the man.
But he had plenty by the time that happened.
So what was shitty for me?
Every single birthday of yours is your dad's birthday.
No. It was all about me, and it only made it more special. 100%.
Oh, that's sweet.
I'm so
I'd be
thankful
pissed.
for it. No.
I could have never been a twin. I'd be like, fuck this shit. I get my own day.
I loved it. It was great. And then his dad is born. So my grandpa, December 17th. So 2 days after me, December 15th.
That is funny.
Yeah. So it's just bang, bang, bang. And I kind of think that like. If I was born at my grandpa's time, I'd be a lot like him, and like or just like these like slight. We're like my dad's like 2.0, I'm 3.0. We're like slight and like all that like neurotic like my grandpa's like next level neurotic anxious. My dad's like slightly less neurotic and anxious, and I think I'm like slightly less neurotic and anxious than him. And it's just generational anxiety, I suppose.
Yeah. You have a very interesting form of anxiety. You have the same one that I have, because John and I have two completely opposite anxieties, and it's the cause of a lot of problems. When we have fights. You and I both have anxious attachment, meaning when we're anxious, we overdo it. It's overkill. 100%. We stress everyone out, and we do too much.
Yeah.
Versus what's
Did I offend you? I'll hear it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Versus
and John will just nothing.
He shuts down and isolates and is like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Which is the worst combination together.
Well, he's the definition of we'll get that we'll cross that bridge when we get to it type of thing.
Or we'll never cross it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, what do you mean we'll never cross it?
We gotta cross it now. Bridge.
Yeah. But
burn that bridge when we cross to it. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Like, I love you, Johnny.
Is that your Regis Philbin accent?
My Regis Philbin's pretty. I kind of just do this, and then it doesn't really sound like him.
Is that Regis?
I don't know.
What does Regis sound like?
Regis Philbin. I think it's.
Should I pull up a clip of Regis Philbin?
I can't really. Wow, what a guy. I don't know. He doesn't really sound like that. But.
My grandma looks just like Regis Philbin.
Really?
Yeah, and my mom gets really upset when I bring it up.
If she should cut her hair and then maybe try to cash in.
She has the same haircut as him.
Okay. Yeah, that was.
Oh my God,
I shouldn't have assumed that.
He looks just like my grandma.
She should go out and just be like, pretend Regis lost his voice and like sign autographs.
I am not kidding you. She could do that.
Yeah, that's pretty great. My grandpa kind of looks like Martin Scorsese.
Oh, really? Did you watch The Irishman?
I did watch The Irishman. I watched like 20 minutes at a time. I'd watch 20 minutes, then pass out.
Like a season of a show?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was good. I liked every episode. It was good.
I didn't watch. I caught the end of it when. Here we go.
My life, my TV life.
I'll try it and then you try it.
Okay, wait. I'm starting over.
Kathy Lee, you want to know the best part of my life, my TV life, was in the 15 years I spent with you.
Okay.
That's like a very subdued. That's like a very low energy Regis, though.
Well,
yeah, that's a lot of what he's is all
Kathy Lee.
That was good.
That felt a little racist.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I've received similar comments about my Regis before, but I think you just.
You make him sound like he's sick.
Right. Well, it's gotta, it's really just
like blow your nose, Regis.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I really don't have it. I think it's a nice enough voice, but it doesn't really sound like Regis Philbin.
Is there any voice you can totally do?
I think my Mark Wahlberg is pretty good.
I'm not a judge of that because I don't know.
But I kind of do like the Andy Samberg Mark. It's a little bit like that, but like what is it? Oh, come on, like my best friend's a teddy bear. Like I'm tired of it, all right? No, seriously. He kind of always has this like breathy thing going on. Like, no.
I believe it, but I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know it. If you would be dying
if he's
laughing.
Wrong,
you'd be dying laughing.
I bet this is actually the first time people have laughed on this podcast.
Yeah.
Just because of how fucking funny that was.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. They've just been rolling.
I bet the reference was...
Yeah, I bet they're just laughing so hard. Yeah, something like that.
Oh, is he from Boston?
Oh, yeah. That's sort of my...
You're from Boston.
My wheelhouse. Yeah. I know. It's true.
But you left.
I left. Yeah, 5 years in New York. Yeah, no. It's I love it. It's a great city and everything. But to be honest with you, New York's where it's at. New York's better.
It is. And you didn't live in Boston proper.
No. I lived in a little town 15 minutes outside called Arlington, Mass.
Wait, you and Pete went to high school together.
Me and Sweet Pete, Arlington, Massachusetts. God bless it.
Oh my God, I always forget about that.
Yeah, Pete and I grew up like less than 5-minute walk from each other.
Wow.
But we didn't really hang out until college, to be honest with you. He was a grade below me, and when he got into NYU, I bought him a Tish T-shirt and
nice.
Brought it to him. I think it was probably over Thanksgiving or something.
Were there not a lot of people that went to NYU from your town?
No, it was it. Yeah, not a lot. Is that a pull? Is that the word you use? Yeah, not a lot of pull. That works. Yeah, not a lot of pull. Yeah, not a lot of pull.
Pull? What did you say?
Not a lot of pull. Not a lot of pull in our town.
Not a lot of pull.
Yeah, but fucking weird thing about speaking of polls in Arlington, when Osama bin Laden was.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You have no idea what I'm about to say.
Rogue turn.
Yeah. When Osama bin Laden was killed, in Arlington, we all came into homeroom. Mr. McCarthy came on the loudspeaker and was like, would everyone please go out on the front lawn? Osama bin Laden has been killed. And they marched us all out on the front lawn.
No, were you there?
Oh, I was in 8th grade.
Yeah, I must have been a freshman, yeah. And I think
you remembered that you were in 8th grade when Osama bin Laden was killed?
It was a big deal in Boston.
Yeah, like my history teacher, my music teacher, we had like conversations.
Yeah, I must have been a freshman.
You did?
I remember that day vividly.
Wait, what?
I remember I had just taken a big bite of a chicken salad sandwich.
I don't remember where I was or how old I guess I was a freshman.
All
in
I
high
remember about
school.
it is this, and they marched us out to the front lawn, and I think we had to do the Pledge of Allegiance or something
hell?
in front of the flag. It was the weirdest thing ever. And
That is bizarre.
Yeah, like my future NYU hippie ass, like, this is wrong. A man is dead. Like I was like, this is just wrong.
Flag should be at half staff.
Yeah. This is just wrong.
Did you?
But I'll never forget.
Did you grow up in a Republican town?
No. Arlington is like shockingly liberal, and Massachusetts is the only town that is the only state. Yeah, sorry.
Careful.
I know. People get so mad when you mess that up. Is the only state in the country that voted. Every single county voted for Hillary in the presidential election.
Wow.
Yeah, not one single Trump county. I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of like Republicans in Mass.
Right, but
the thing about Massachusetts in general, in my experience, is that I find that it tends to be, it votes very left, but it feels kind of right.
The towny Irish Catholic
There's like
thing runs deep.
It runs very, very deep, and like there's not that much integration anywhere, and it's sort of, I mean, this is like,
well, see, I have
Deep. White.
yeah, it's
Very
extremely white, of course.
Yeah. That makes what I'm about to say. Whatever. I have respect. I respect, like, to me, growing up, I've only associated like hardness and like tradition stuff and like Americanism with being super conservative and Republican because that's how my town was, and my town was quite Republican.
Right.
So whenever I see like a liberal household or family or like liberal adults that are still pretty like I don't know, like set in older ways but like believe in the core values of like the Democratic Party of like I always like admire that because I'm like, oh duh, there's a 2-party system.
Right.
It's not like this or that.
Right.
And I grew up in such a Republican town. I won the Republican Award.
I know.
At my high school.
I love thinking about that. You were like a good little Republican back in the day.
Yeah, and I told that story at Thanksgiving and immediately regretted it.
Oh no.
I told it
Were
to
people
John's
like,
parents.
what changed?
Well,
John's. Oh, because you're at the PH.
yeah, I was at John's house for Thanksgiving, and it's not only are his parents liberal, but they're like in show business, so they're like super liberal.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, we were like all a little drunk and talking about high school. I was like, yeah, I won the Republican Award. And John's mom was like, what?
Yeah.
And I was like, reverse.
Yeah.
And then I made some other comment, and she was like, you are a young Republican.
Oh,
That is. And I was like, no.
She's never gonna forget.
They're never gonna forget. But I do. I do think that like I always feel like when people find out, I'm not like embarrassed of it necessarily because I clearly now don't give off the or like I.
No.
If anything, I go like I changed.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say. If anything, it's like it's good. You demonstrated the capacity to change.
Right, despite what my parents brought me up on.
Yeah, a certain way. You learned and you changed. I mean, I don't know. I think especially like, I don't know. I hope everybody changes after they get out of high school because I think your worldview is just so. I didn't realize how much I needed to change for years. Even going into NYU, I didn't realize.
Did you feel like you were?
Yeah.
In what way?
Just like the way I treated people and the way I thought about things. I just didn't. I don't know. There's a lot of because it was crazy. Like, you know, even like whenever someone, like you were telling me earlier, like, you know, I gave off like super masculine energy and like I was the least masculine guy in like my friend group in Arlington.
But then you come to NYU.
Right. And it was like the complete opposite. Cause like I danced for 15 years. I was like actor kid. I was like getting bullied for it. Like I've definitely like insecure in my masculinity. And then coming to NYU or like being at Tisch or whatever, it's like the kid from Boston. It was like total flip flop. And I didn't realize that, like, you know, a Massachusetts, you know, like, soft in air quotes, you know, not like proverbial soft, obviously not the literal sense, or like even the.
I don't know. Sometimes when I poke you, my
Yeah.
finger goes deep.
Yeah, get a little, a couple knuckles down. No, but it's just like so different from what an NYU.
Yeah,
I just didn't realize. Like I was thinking about like just the way I thought about like different issues, and just, you know, I wasn't as hip as I thought I was. Is what I'm.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
My whole freshman year, and I was a communications major, so like every class was about like, why are we the way we are?
Yeah.
And so my whole freshman year, I was like, can you believe? Oh my! I can't believe it. And like I was so shocked at all these like crazy things, and then also just the culture of NYU is arguably too far.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's I don't know. I think it's important to have that as like what I love about like the liberal movement in general. Is that they never. Is that it's never satisfactory. Because I think, for example, like, you know, when I was like dating Anissa, I mean, if we're really going to get into it, my ex-girlfriend, she's ultra liberal, like I would consider myself to be as well. But like, you know, there would be certain things where I would say to her like, oh, like, shouldn't we celebrate that this movie is getting made? You know, and it's not like it, but her attitude would always be like, yes, but it's not enough. But it's never enough. It needs to be more and more and more. And I think that's frustrating for people. And I think you do need to find the balance somewhat of knowing when to pat yourself on the back just a teensy bit.
Yeah.
But what I love about the liberal movement is that the only way to really make progress in a country where there's like such conditional systems in place, system in place, is never accept what you have and always say we have to do better, because it'll just keep going. You know what I mean?
And I think that that's a big difference between like conservative and liberal attitudes, because something I've always noticed is like growing up, I like got into politics and like debate club when I was in high school, and I always carried this idea that my dad taught me of like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's literally what I was about to say. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, it ain't broke for us because this is what we look like, and this is the class that we're in. Right. Yeah. But also it was this attitude of like, well, this is the way the Constitution was written and this is the way it goes, and like tradition and not wanting things to change, obviously, because like the majority of conservative people have been the ones writing the rules for themselves for so long. But I think the biggest idea flop that like always ends all the arguments I have with my dad, because this is simply where we disagree, is I always say to him like, Dad, I am never going to see the ideal like carrying out of what I believe in my lifetime, but I'll never stop trying to see it.
Yeah.
And like I've accepted that I'll never see it, but I'm going.
But that's the point, I think.
Exactly. It's like I'm going to keep.
It's never going to be enough.
Fighting so that and it's like what you said of when you're up against such a big monster.
Yeah.
And also, any progress requires 2 steps forward to come 1 step back.
For sure. Well, that's why I think what a lot of people feel is like, oh, if it's like oversensitive, over this, over that. It's like, yeah, maybe in some categories, but for the most part, it's like we should be making these leaps forward to overcompensate a little bit.
Yeah.
And there'll always be collateral damage. And like some people will maybe get unfairly. But
like there are plenty of like things with women's topics right now where I'm like, all right, you're actually making it worse. Like plenty of women I know now joke about like people getting canceled for stuff, and it's like, we ruined it. We took it too far and the timing was bad. I worked at Babe when they released the Aziz Ansari story, and I was like, oh fuck, like what? And there's so many instances where it's like too much and now it's tainted. And I also feel like since graduating I've become a little bit reverted back a little bit.
Interesting.
I feel like after leaving the world of college where all you do is talk about everything, it's kind of like you get a bit more down to earth about everything. And it's hard to care as much when you're like, don't have the free time to sit in the classroom and talk about it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely thankful for I don't know. I love that like conditioning that we've gotten though from NYU and from that New York City like ultraness. Yeah, well, it sets you straight a bit, like early on of you become aware of so many things so that you just like have that base level of like awareness and consideration for everything you confront down the line. I've seen so many friends of mine since they graduated college, which was about I graduated a year ago.
Right, the class of 2018 graduated a year and a half. Okay, yeah. So that's okay. Yeah. So they've been moving to New York in waves since then. Like I've seen people from my high school move here, and they all used to be like super Trump positive on Facebook and everything, and now I've seen it like shut
since
up.
coming to New York.
Since coming to New York.
Interesting.
And so I wonder how much of it is like you come here and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, you know what I think is interesting though is with our generation, sort of across the board, even for the most part, including politically, is I think we're really good problem solvers and really good at resolving conflict. Like I find, like with my sister and I, like the older we've gotten, and just even with our parents in our interactions, we're good at having the patience of understanding like the difference between like how you feel versus how someone else is experiencing something versus, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like our generation kind of across the board has gotten much, much better at reading, talking to someone and reading the room and being like, oh, I hurt your feelings. Yeah. How can we fix that? You know what I mean? Like I feel like older generations aren't as good as that.
Right. It's like my voice, and you are just not agreeing with it.
Right. So that's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough, but I think it's also important to like know when to draw the line with certain things. Like you can't just like it's very hard for me to lean into the idea that like if I fundamentally disagree with someone on every single thing, like that doesn't mean I have to not like them. It's like, no, I think it's okay to not like someone who I like.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I totally agree with that. I also feel like our generation, or not our generation anymore, I'm not going to make this about me.
Yeah.
I feel like lately, living in New York, or maybe this is just an age thing, I don't know what it's from, but I feel like I and the people I surround myself with are getting better and better at not taking things personally.
Interesting.
Would you agree?
You have to give me like an example.
Like I feel like if someone makes a comment that feels a little snarky, I have the ability to go like, maybe they're in a bad mood.
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm not pissing them off. Totally. They might just be in a bad mood.
I think we're aware of how big the world is, and you can just kind of be like, oh, like they're entitled to that, and I'm just gonna do my thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I
think also like understanding the nuances of like people getting into like our understanding of mental health is so much.
100%.
Of course.
Yes.
Like, they're just in
You're
the wrong
so
headspace.
right.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Headspace thing is like
that's what it is.
Yeah, that's totally what it is.
That's the cheat code.
Cheat code.
That's what it is.
Sweet Petey cheat code.
That's my birth control.
Sweet Petey cheat code. Yeah, totally. Because it's like when someone says something, the empathy levels are just so much higher because you're just like, oh, they're just not thinking right.
Yeah.
Like you assume the best in somebody.
I had a day at work the other day where I was editing and these two creatives were in the room. And
I love that creatives.
Yeah.
These two creatives.
I know.
There they go. there's one.
The creatives are
There's
here.
a creative.
I just saw one.
Yeah. They're only here for a short time.
Yeah.
We have to
no, they sit in my room all fucking
believe me,
dead.
I know.
And
I'm gonna get
another beer. I'll you could still hear me. Yeah. So these two creatives were in the room, and I like the vibe was fucking off. And like I would do something, and they would like suddenly started to feel responsible, and I was like, I've put them in a bad mood. Like the vibe is bad because of me, blah blah blah. And then I was like, oh my god, or they're just tired.
Based on like they're just on their phones.
Yeah, or like, and they were just kind of like blah and like hungry, and I'm like, none of this is my fault or my responsibility.
I don't have to hate you for this.
Half of their job is being hungry and bored.
Right, yeah. And I was just like, yeah, and I was like, oh my god, right, this is not a me problem. This is not, and that's why also I feel like my circle of close friends has shrunk because it's like if you're gonna get offended by my mood or schedule, I don't have time to be your friend because if we're gonna have like fights about petty shit.
Well, that's the type of shit that we all do, our generation all does, of like, here's how I need you to be my friend. Like, I feel like there's no way, like, our parents were in the 80s, were like, no, my friendship language is, like, there's no way. But, like, I genuinely, like, with my other, like, dude friends will be like, I feel like you know, like, have those type of conversations.
It's like, no
but
thanks.
It's good. It's, you know.
I can vibe with it to an extent, but then, like, I don't know. That's why
like,
sometimes...
What are we doing? What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah,
that kind of thing?
yeah.
Are we going to the mall or not?
Yeah. Well, what is that?
You know, are we going to limit it to it?
That's Boston Emily.
Yeah, that's Boston Emily. Oh,
like I'm direct?
I don't know. I think it'd be fun if
I was from Boston, I'd be cooler.
I mean, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just
I might be.
Yeah, you could be.
I might not have been a Republican.
No. Yeah, that's true.
I think that I feel a little iffy when my therapist brings up love languages. Because I'm like, are love languages an excuse? Are they like narcissistic?
When you're like, sorry, that's not how I love.
That's not how I express my love.
Yeah.
Fuck. You're probably in a rough patch. And so now you're relying on these things.
Well, what are your love languages then?
Well, my number one is quality time.
Yeah, me too. That's a big one for me.
Big one for me.
How you receive, you mean, or how you give?
That's how I receive. Same. I give by gift giving.
All I want is time. That's all I want.
I could go Monday through Saturday.
I think we're the same. I like giving gifts.
Yeah.
That's a big one for me.
I love giving gifts.
I love giving gifts. I don't like receiving gifts. When it's that is not something for me. I like it, but it just makes me uncomfortable. You've never?
I don't get gifts. So, no, I well, no, I don't.
Yeah.
Because that's not how John shows his love. I feel extremely loved by him in many other ways. We both express and love physical touch, and that's perfect.
Yeah, me too.
But with quality time, I could go like literally all week if we like don't see each other. If I know that on like Sunday, I'll have you all day.
That's big for me. Yeah. When people play with my fucking time,
I'm like,
I get mad. When someone's like cancels at the last minute. I feel like I spend so much of my time trying to hide just how OCD neurotic I am. Like you really know me when you know that like my whole character is that I am so anxious and neurotic, and I spend all my time trying to come off as not that. Like all I want to do is for people not to think
chill,
not
be cool.
I'm just chill. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. No, I didn't like get a bunch of groceries and like do the like make my bed and like buy cologne and whatever. No.
Yeah.
Just text me whenever.
Oh my God.
You let me know. Oh God.
Oh no.
Yeah, I can't swing that.
And I always sometimes like we'll be making a last minute plan and I see John notify you via text and I see your type bubble come up and go away and I know that's you going like
dickhead. Dickhead. Well, I've gotten a lot better with John also.
You have no choice.
You have no choice.
You have no choice.
John's one of those. Yeah, he's one of those.
Because I'm just like you where
God, he's gonna love listening to this.
I know.
He's just. It's like we've talked about him for like 20 minutes total.
He often comes up on the podcast. No, I live with him. A lot of my stories.
Of course. I bet you just. And he's our. Just walking down the street, hearing his name over and over again. Love you, buddy. All love.
I am
Johnny,
so.
I love you. This is Pete. Love you.
That's Pete saying he loves you. And I love you too. I am so the person who, even if we don't say there's a plan, there's one in my head. Yeah. And if you are about to change it last minute, I'm upset and I can't not show it. Yeah. I'm irritated. You've irritated me now. But in general, like in my head, I'm also always trying to act cooler than how I feel.
Totally. Well, I think
but isn't everybody?
I think so. But like, it's more like I'm deliberately trying to hide a certain element of myself rather than trying to act cool.
Do you really? You're not hiding it.
I know. I don't do a very good job. I don't do a very good job, but I don't know. What I was gonna.
Do you think OCD and like neuroses is like super negative?
No, I don't. I think it's definitely one of my I think being someone who worries I'm
a warrior.
Is a good thing.
I'm a warrior.
Totally.
Depends how you
warrior. You decide. Yeah. No, I think for me it's like if you're someone who worries, you will think of the things that are going to go wrong before they go wrong. So I pack. I'm like, oh, what if it's going to rain when I get there? I'll bring an umbrella. You know what I mean? So then you think to bring an umbrella.
Totally.
But what I was going to say is I think there's something so fun. Like I think we've had a couple interactions like this, I'm sure, where it's like, oh, you like to plan too? And it's when you find a friend that also likes to plan.
Because it's lame.
Yeah, it's lame. You feel lame. Like when I'm texting John, is like, what should I wear? And he's like, he doesn't say anything.
And I'm like, well, don't make me feel fucking stupid for asking.
Yeah, with you, I'm like, oh, what should I bring? You're like, I don't know. What do you think? And I'm like, let's talk.
Yeah.
Can I call you?
Notice when I text you, we have like our text conversations, we respect how much information the other requires to have the full conversation
for sure
and reach a conclusion.
I like texting. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't like texting.
Really?
I'm so bad
I'm
at
on my laptop most of the day. So when someone texts me, it's just typing. So it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Texting on your laptop can be a real thrill. Every once in a while, I'll have like a full-on conversation with somebody.
I remember when I I hop around computers at work all the time. But I have one computer that I have my messages on. And when I do, I can get into a full-blown convo.
Yeah.
But typing with my fingers, like, you can literally ask anybody, and I'm sure I don't answer. And it's not even that I'm just avoiding I avoid answering people out of like a hatred for myself almost. I do it with emails. Like, I just put shit off, and then I just wind up not answering people, and it's too late, and now I look like a dick.
Yeah. No, it's tough.
But you always answer. And
I always answer. I try to always answer.
quality.
Sometimes I forget. It's always like with my grandma, I'll forget, and she'll like just send me another article or something.
My mom, I just told people before we came here, John texted. I'm going to say yes, start late. Yes. My mom texted me 2 years ago. I got her a T-shirt for her birthday. I made it. And on the front it says, in quotes, "Nobody ever answers me, me
Yeah, I saw
always."
that on your Insta story.
Oh, yeah. And then the back is a screenshot of a text conversation where it's all gray and like different timestamps. And she just sent it to me and was like, still true. Because if you go through my message with my mom.
Yeah. Well, it's because you feel like you don't have to. It's your family.
Like, I saw it.
It's unconditional love. I saw it.
Well, that's the other thing. I think if I didn't have previews on, I would answer people because I'd open it and answer. But I see it, so in my head, I'm like, who's with you?
Do you want to hear something kind of saucy that happened to me? This was like my anecdote that I had planned.
Yeah. Oh my God, tell your anecdote.
That I was going to say. I feel like I should get in.
Get your anecdote.
But I'm worried it might make me look like kind of a bad guy. I'm not sure.
I promise you, I will. Everybody, PSA, Sam is not a bad guy.
Thanks.
Whatever he's about to say.
Thank you.
And I reserve the right to retract.
Right. Oh, okay.
No, go ahead.
That's well said. I went on a date the other night, a Hinge date. And yes, I am available.
Hinge. He's looking for a relationship, maybe.
Yeah. Went on. I'm not sure, but I went on a Hinge date the other night, and what happened at the end? We both get dinner, and then
dinner for a first date.
I know. Well, we were gonna get drinks, then we were both kind of hungry, and I was like, yeah, we'll get something to eat.
Food.
I'll be honest. I could talk. I could just talk,
yeah.
So I'm never like that nervous. I'm just like, yeah, sure, I'll like eat dinner and talk for an hour, and then call it a day. But then she orders. I'm always down to drink. She ordered 3 cocktails. I ordered 3 beers. You can see where this is going.
Oh no!
And then the bill comes, and I always pay. 100% of the time, I'm just like, no questions asked.
Oh, I like this.
I don't mind doing it. Yeah, this is a us conversation. And the bill comes. It's $100. And
oh my God.
I look at her and I'm like, is there any chance like you're down to like pitch in like a little bit? And she just looks at me and goes, no. And I was like, oh.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She just said no?
Yeah, she looked at me and goes, no. And then the air was like hot, like this.
Oh.
You would not believe the air, yeah. And then I was like, okay.
Oh my fucking
yeah, sorry.
God.
I was like, normally I just do it. I don't know. I just wasn't expecting it to. And then and she's saying nothing this whole time. And I'm just like, I'm just spinning.
My God.
I'm just spinning out. And
you're like, no, I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it. And I was like, yeah, did I just like blow it by like saying that? And she just looks at me and like doesn't say a word. Just kind of like, I know, it was fucked. So then I just like,
I'm allowed to say it for you. What a cunt.
So then I paid the thing.
That's so rude.
I paid the thing. I just like tipped 20%. Just did the 120.
Shit, that's AirPods.
That's how I was raised. You tip well.
No, I know. The tipping is its own thing.
Yeah. Don't hate me for tipping.
No, we love you for tipping. We hate the bitch for making you.
Oh,
who's calling her?
Go ahead. Can you hit ignore? It's
Sam's
the button on the right.
Phone's ringing.
Yeah. So anyway, what happened was so she was like, yeah, no. And then the next day or later that night, she texts me.
So you both go home. Where'd you go to eat?
It's like this bar down. It was like this
downtown
restaurant bar down in like Fidei area.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, we were just walking around.
Who the fuck is just
it was
walking
so
around
awkward. First of all, I wonder if you have any like tips about this, but I'm so bad at goodbyes. I don't know how to do it.
Oh,
it's the
I don't have
it's
tips.
so hard. So I like gave her a hug. I think like the worst hug ever.
Like hard hug,
just like a hug,
shoulder into chest.
Yeah, she got on the train. I like walked away. I think I was like texting my sister immediately, just being like, "What just happened?"
Oh my God.
And she texted me later that night. She was like, "So, despite everything that happened at the end, I had a really good time, and you have like really pretty eyes." And like,
what?
she was like, "I'd really like to see you again." And I just said to her,
despite everything that happened, like it was your.
Yeah. Despite everything that happened at the end, you have really pretty eyes.
And what'd you say?
I said to her, I was like, "Oh, thanks. Like, you have pretty eyes too." I was like, "You have pretty eyes too. I really dug your energy. Everybody loves energy shit. I dug your energy. I feel like I should tell you though. I can't really afford to like foot 100+ bills all the time.
Yeah.
So if that doesn't really work for you, that's okay." She replies, "That's a deal breaker."
Oh my God.
I know. That was all she said.
And
that's a deal breaker.
You didn't answer.
I didn't say a word.
Oh my God.
I was so close to be like, well, you know.
The nerve.
I know.
I cannot even imagine the gall or like just false delusional confidence it takes to be like, "Oh, like, do you mind chipping in?"
Yeah.
No.
I wasn't asking to split it.
No, you said you
$10.
chip in.
$15.
Especially if you got a bunch of cocktails.
Yeah, well, that was my thing. It was like, I'm down to like pay for drinks, pay for dinner, but if you're gonna like just order whatever you want,
Yeah.
I was like assuming. She was assuming, but there was no dance. There was no like reaching for the There was no.
I always
no
pretend.
dance. Yeah, no.
Or used to.
No. Yeah, she was arms crossed, like looking at the clock or something.
No, that's really fucked up. And you know why I really, really now? Because I feel like I would have probably jokingly agreed with her, like before I started paying.
Well,
for
I
a
told
lot
that
of
story to my grandma, and she was kind of like, "Well, why would you go on a date with it?" I was like, "Grandma."
No. You know what? Also, the dates that I went on when I was single, like I never over ordered unless they were, because sometimes they'd be like, "Order whatever you want. I've got that." And you're like, "Oh, okay, that's fun."
Yeah.
But I would never ever, unless I would only match them or less.
Yeah.
I'd always be like, "Are you sure?" And then when the bill comes, I always fucking reach for my wallet.
Yeah.
And I actually don't think I ever split it. But like
No, you have to do the dance.
You have to do the dance.
Out
And
of
then
respect.
they pay for it. And like, thank you so much. That was like so good. Like, be respectful. And I especially now back that up because I make more money than John. So I pay for most of what we do.
Right.
And it really is a thing of like, God damn, I'm paying for two people.
Yeah.
Women have to, like, sure, things are not equal, but like, I bet you half the fucking girls who go on these dates are like baristas.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't feel bad for you.
Yeah.
That you are not you don't, not to say that they have to pay, but like respect the fact that this dude doesn't know you.
Yeah.
And is paying for both of you.
Yeah.
Like that, come on.
No,
I know and love my boyfriend and I despise him when he makes me pay for it. Like, come on.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I actually like really don't mind it. Often, like in past relationships, I like pay for like maybe 70% of the stuff we do, and I just because I like to, like that's one of like going back to the love language thing.
No, I'm joking. I do
I
enjoy it. Would be nice.
But when it's like $100 on a first date, I'm like,
first date is
like I don't want to set this thing of and
this
is our dynamic. Like I just
not anymore. It's a deal breaker.
Billy the bankroll. Yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Also, it's just like the
$100
bill on the first date, and it's
I
the
felt
first
so
date,
played.
The fact that
$120 just flushed.
I can't believe she
not
just
quite.
said no.
It was maybe like $50. It was fun. I did enjoy the night. I don't know if there's a lot you could get. I could probably get like a Six Flags like skip the line pass for $120. And that
you could get a nice pair of jeans.
Nice pair of jeans. That's months of fun. Years of fun, depending on the quality. Yeah.
I can't believe she looked you in the eyes and said no.
Yeah, no. I was like, "Are you down to pitch in?" No.
That's crazy. I really do like
a year and a half of Disney Plus.
Yeah, a year and a half at Disney Plus.
That is.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
Could have been watching shit. Irishman.
Well, that's Netflix.
I know, I'm kidding. Irishman on Disney Plus. I really now have retrospective empathy.
Yeah. Well, now I have
pay.
PTSD a little bit over like I'm kind of afraid to go on a date now because I don't know. Like normally it's been fine every single time, but now I'm kind of like, oh my god, am I giving off like play me energy?
No,
Snakes
no,
here, man.
There's just snakes in the grass.
you
dude.
give off confident energy. I genuinely think that she's an anomaly. I don't know one friend of mine who would just be like, no, you're paying.
No, sorry.
They would pay
Sorry,
and
handsome.
then go home and tell all their
Sorry,
friends,
pretty-
he made me pay.
Yeah, sorry, pretty eyes.
Well, at least you have pretty eyes. If
I
it's-
know. I will say I did appreciate that. That was kind of her.
You do have nice eyes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Well, did you have fun on the podcast?
Yeah, I had a blast. If any, for people who stuck with it, thanks.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks
always.
for listening. Maybe I didn't mean to.
What?
Nothing. Of course you stuck with it. Thanks for sticking with it. Of course you did.
Yeah, of course they said. Did you think it was because of you that they wouldn't have? Obviously not.
I have so much anxiety, so much.
Yeah.
I'm just, just the worst. But thank you so much. Yeah, I had a blast. It was really fun having me.
Yeah, I'm really glad you
really
came
fun
on.
being had. I mean,
Really fun. Yeah.
yeah.
And I should have put like
Come see the Lisa show.
Yeah, there you go. Sam is in Lisa as well. Come see their show.
Yep, once a month at Under St. Mark's Theater.
When's the January one?
The January one is on the 16th, I believe. January 16th.
January 16th.
Yep, and once a month at Under St. Follow the Lisa Insta on Instagram, and
And follow Guffanti Brunettes. Subscribe.
January 18th.
January 18th. Thanks, Pete.
118.
118.19.
That's my number. Subscribe. 11820.
118.20. Wow.
Subscribe, listen, love,
Rate.
like, rate. Thank you for listening. Have a great week. We love you. Guffanti out.
Guffanti out.